Hey guys, so I thought I would take a quick look at the new generate do template part function and also take a look at what I've been doing in my child theme. I thought we'd make a quick custom post type for movies. And this is my testing development site. It's local, it's just some stuff I've been goofing around with. This is from the animations video that I did. So this is my child theme, which is on GitHub, made just for GeneratePress, which I love. Please take a look, download it, file an issue if you catch anything. I hope you enjoy it. So Tom has recently, we've released GeneratePress 3, and or not we, Tom has. And it has a new cool function called generate do template part, and it allows you to essentially replace the template just for the loop in WordPress. And so what is actually going on? Let's see, what is the easiest way to take a look? Let's jump over here to, and this is my child theme, and I want to show you what I'd been doing. Okay, so this is my CPT custom post type output custom.php. So this is what I used to do. There's a great function called the content, which looks for the content in WordPress, and it essentially replaces it. So let's do this, and we can take a look. So I thought I would go in, and we're going to add a plugin, and I know I need to clean up. Tip, I would never leave inactive plugins in a production site. Again, this is just for testing. Let's install pods. So what I normally use for my stuff is custom post type UI and advanced custom fields, but I just went back and looked at advanced custom fields. I bought my license few years ago, I think for $99, which was a steal. I may have gotten it on sale, and it's a lifetime license. Well, now to get the equivalent license of unlimited, pretty much a developer license, or I think he calls it an agency license, it's almost $250 a year. So while I still recommend it, it is an awesome plugin, probably the best plugin for custom fields. I realize that some people can't afford that, or maybe don't do enough sites, or maybe you're just a hobbyist and you want to do this for fun, or maybe you're working on your your kid's soccer team site or your church website or something. So let's look for pods, which is another cool, great custom fields plugin, which is, well, they call it a framework, and it is it's made for making custom content types, and it's actually the first one I use. Now I'm a little rusty with it, so we're going to look up some stuff as we go, and I'm not going to get deep into custom fields and things. I really just want to show you how this new generate do template part function works. Make you tweet, sure, we'll opt in. Okie dokie. So let's go to add a new pod, and we're going to create a new custom post type. Okay, the label. So we're going to call it movies. And you can go into advanced, and I think you change the slug or, the pod name. So it's just going to be called movie. And that's essentially a slug, I think. So next step. And we can add some custom fields. And we can add, let's see, release year. And I always like to, when I'm doing custom fields, I like to prefix it with the post type name, just to kind of, I think in programming it's called namespacing. And we can leave it plain text for now. I mean, I guess if I were really thinking about programming this, there might be an instance where I wanted, I might make it a date field because I might want to sort it by date. But we're just going to keep this simple, and we'll make it required. So we're going to save that field, and I might be getting ahead of myself. we'll try to add a trailer, like a YouTube snippet. And I don't think there's a field for media. No, there is an OEmbed field. Okay, we'll try that. I'm not sure how it will work, but we'll see. So yeah, save pod. Now you'll see we have movies over here in our post types now. Let's get a little bit fancier. Post type description, menu position, menu icon. Okay, so let's look at dash icons. So you can come over here, and I think it'll tell you. Yeah, you may need the name of a dash icon, for example. Yes. Okay, so I can put in. Whoops. What would be a good? Let's see, movie. Is there a film? I mean, I guess that kind of looks like a movie. And this is where I get bogged down and stuff. Dash icons are the easiest to add, but you can get lost in just trying to find, what is the perfect icon out of all these icons. Ooh, movie tickets. Yeah. Or, they're tickets. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. And menu icon, let's paste that. Yeah, okay. Save, and now, cool, we get our little ticket icons. That's great. Okay, so now we have movies. Okay, let's add a new movie. And just FYI, so what you get now is we do not get the beautiful block editor with pods. As far as I know, I don't know if there's a way to change that, but again, this is not a video about pods specifically. I really just want to show you this this plugin. So let's do Die Hard, and I guess I really shouldn't be taking this long to do this. Okay, 1988. That's great. So we get, no, don't play that. Share. Let's get that. So we know it's 1988. And we get the trailer. I'm not sure how OEmbeds work, but we'll see. Or how they work in pods anyway. There we go. We'll just put that in our description. And oh, I didn't enable a featured image. We want to do that. So I'll go ahead and publish this. But we're going to go back to pods, and we're going to edit movies. There's fields. I can't remember where this is. Is it under advanced? Yes. Okay. It's a post. Enable archive page. Yes. We do want that. Supports. Here we go. Featured image. Yeah. Okay. And pods really is pretty darn cool, and you can get most, well, yeah, it kind of has its own way of doing things. I like the UI in Advanced Custom Fields better because that's what he focuses on, but you can pull off a lot with pods. You can do a lot of great stuff. So let's go back to movies and Die Hard, and we're going to add our featured image. There's Die Hard. Yeah, let's be good and completionist and put in our alt attribute. And you know what too, because we're not going to be editing the layout, I did another video on how to hide the GeneratePress stuff for our custom post type. So let's go over here real quick and we'll do that. So let's look up GeneratePress, scroll down here, and I'm just gonna duplicate this for movies. sorry, just 2 times. And I think it's just called movie. So if I refresh this now, yeah, the GeneratePress layout stuff is gone because we don't need it. Probably don't need content permissions either, but I'm not going to get into that. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our other movies. The Empire Strikes Back. Set our featured image. Yeah, I didn't have the alt attribute. Sorry. Let's see. Empire. Yeah, we'll do that as well. Do not play. Let's get that. The release here is 84. Huh, I don't have the year. I think it's 84. And we'll just copy that just so we have some text. Or was it 83? I'm going to say 1983. First Star Wars movie I saw in theaters as a kid. Or, well, kid or adult, whatever. First movie. Star Wars movie that I saw in theaters. Awesome. Still the best in my opinion. And then the last is Ghostbusters. Loved this movie as a kid as well. Could recite most of it. Or, well, yeah, do the lines along with the movie as watching it. It's great. Ghostbusters. 1984. Copy that. We said it was 1984. Set the thumbnail. And we'll grab. There we go. All right. So now we have 3 posts in our movies custom post type. Now let's see. If I change this URL to movie. Whoop. Okay. They show up as standard posts. I'll tell you what, to make this so we can see what's happening here a little better, I'm going to change the background color in the customizer, because I don't know if you remember or not, in GeneratePress you have these containers, and I just have a white background so you can't really see. There we go. And now you can let's go ahead and we're going to add movies, movie archive. Put that up here and just change this to movies. Okay. So now, if I refresh, we're now under movies. It says archives, movies, and we can change that title. You know, not a big thing. Probably do that with the heading element or header. Under elements in GeneratePress, this is a premium feature. But we're not going to do that. We're going to look at customizing the way these output, and also this single layout, because we don't have our custom fields, so we want those to show up. So now let's dig into this. Now I'm going to show you first of all how I used to do it, or well, how the child theme currently handles it. So we go to CPT output custom. Now first, if you've watched the introductory video, you know, functions is kind of the master theme that pulls all the stuff in that I want. And here's this one. So CPT custom output custom. So that's what I want. I want to grab that. I want to include that file. So now I can close that and open this one. So here's the one that I want, and this is in the child theme, and it's just commented out, this add filter. So here's how I've normally done it. I grab, I use the content, and you can look it up. Google WordPress v_content or the content function, whatever, and it'll kind of give you a rundown on what it does. And I'm going to show you right now. So what I'm doing is I'm saying, when it's time to grab the content in WordPress, run this function. And first, it's going to check and say, okay, if you're currently looking at whatever this custom post type name is, which we're going to rename this to movie, then I want you to go in and, okay, so are we looking at a singular, like a single post? Like, is this the single view? So WordPress has an archive view, which is this list view. You can see it's called archives. And it has a single view, which is this. Okay. So I'm checking to see, am I looking at the single view of movie, of the movie post type, and am I in the main query and in the loop? And these are just two things to check and make sure that, we don't have a widget sidebar running posts and it's going to affect that as well, or anywhere else, a related post or anything like that. That's all. It's kind of covering my bases just to know that we're looking at this part of the loop. Okay? This. Not anything over here, related post or anything like that. The main loop. And if it is the single view, then we're going to go grab this partial and replace whatever the content would output with this. Okay? Else, am I looking at an archive of the movie post type and also in the main query? And for some reason, you don't have to check in the loop for this one. I should have included some links in here. This is stuff I found through Stack Overflow and just lots of trial and error. Else, if we don't come across any of these conditions, then just output the content or return it as you normally would. Okay? So let's see how this looks. Now, these are, let's see. Let's look under partials. Partials. Okay, so samples. So I have a sample for each of these, and I can't remember what they're going to look like. So let's see. They look very, very normal. I didn't save. Okay. Yeah, they should look. Yeah, okay. So here's part of the problem. It's going to output the title as usual and the feature image, but it's going to replace this content. So normally what I'd have to do is go into GeneratePress, into these elements, and I could do a layout element and turn this stuff off. But it would still fill in this, this little container, whatever you want to call it. And same with the single view. So you see I get a repeat. And we can look at each of these. And it's using the whole grid layout. This, I don't even know, there's not styling for this any longer. So, we change this to whatever we want. But it's really simple. So first of all, I'm saying, this is in every file. In other words, if you're trying to access this file directly, just exit. Just silently quit. Because I don't want people, getting to this even accidentally. But then it simply outputs what I want. I'm checking to see, is there a post thumbnail? If so, let's wrap it in the permalink, the link to this particular post. Here's the post, the thumbnail, the size. These are typical WordPress functions, and here's the single view. And the only difference with the content portion is because we're in the content, because we're using this filter, we're having to use this argument for this function, which already grabs the content portion. You can see we're returning content here. So over here, whenever we want to output the content portion, which is just the text, this part, we would echo that variable $content, just a PHP variable. But now all this changes, and we get something even better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another filter. Generate do template part. Nope, not like that. Okay, I think I'm doing this right. GPC. So I like to prefix again all my functions with just GPC GeneratePress child theme. CPT, and we'll just call it template part. Okay, so now we have the hook. It's going to look for that function. So let's create the function. CPT template part. Okay, and now instead of content, we get this do argument. And honestly, I could sit here and type all this, but I'm just going to copy and paste pretty much the same bit, but instead of content, we're going to get do. Okay, so I'm going to comment this back out, and we're going to use this generate do template part and see what we get. Okay, so I'm not going to change the partial templates yet. Let's just jump over here and see what happens. Okay, so let's refresh. Now we only get what we've called in our templates. So essentially what has happened is we get a lot more control without having to worry about stuff that's already output by default. I don't have to go in and turn things off. I can just use this do template part function, and I get only what I've included in my template part. Okay, and you see now I have no content because I'm using that variable, which is no longer there, and I don't want do. I want the content, which is the default WordPress function, just to grab the main text or content of a post. And there you have it. Okay, so that is pretty cool. So let's take a minute just to dress it up a teeny bit. You know what? Let's try to go ahead and grab one of our custom fields maybe. And I'm going to rename, let's see, we're going to call this movie container. Yeah, does that sound good? Movie archive block? Movie archive block. Because this is an archive. And I'll call it a block because that's what it is. So we'll say movie archive. You know what? I'm going to use, I can't remember if this BIM or whatever. Movie archive image, and then movie archive title. So always we kind of prefix it with movie archive, and this is the specific element. And then I think, you know, if there were a different one, you'd use a modifier with the 2 dashes or something like that. Anyway, I don't get too picky about that stuff, but anyway. And we want the large version of the thumbnail, and we can even apply a class to it. You know, you can look up this function, just WordPress the post thumbnail, and I have the stuff installed in VS Code. I think it's a WordPress functions helper that kind of gives me these previews. So we'll call this image container, I guess, and we'll call this movie archive thumbnail. Sure. You know what? We'll call this thumb. I get really picky about this stuff. I probably worry way too much over it, but anyway, that's one of the hardest parts to me is naming all these classes. And another debate. So I'm not going to get into the fact that a lot of developers, hardcore developers, will say, this stuff should be in a plugin. It should be in a separate place. So if they change themes, they won't lose their custom post types. Yeah, possibly, but I've never done that. I pretty much run my client sites, and if they ever change, the theme just moves over to whoever the new developer is, and chances are they're going to rebuild from scratch. So I normally just keep it all in my child theme stuff, and that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to put the styling for this in the content, and I'm going to just do this. And we'll say movie archive block flex, and I'm probably going to need, I never can remember all this. I can't remember. Let's see. Movie archive thumb container? Is that what I called it? Is it flex basis? Oh my gosh. Okay, so you have the shortcuts. I think it's grow, shrink, and then the width. You know what? A lot of times I just try stuff and then I have to look up the references. Oh, because there's so much to remember. We'll say, you know what? I said large, didn't I? But I don't want to do that. Let's, for the thumbnail size, sorry. So we'll say 25%. And I think this is the trick to keeping it all kosher. Movie archive title flex 1 and 75%, max width 75%. I see. Okay, that kind of worked, but let's go back to the archive and let's decide to keep that as thumbnail. Yeah, we'll make them square. And wait, is that right? Boy, CSS is just I should know this better. I didn't want to have to. There it goes. So it just aligns them in the middle. Whatever. Again, we're just goofing around. So now the single view, and we want to get our custom fields in there. So let's, you know what? Let's differentiate. Let's say archive. Woo. And then down here, we'll say movie single. Okay. So now we're onto our, you know what? I really should, we'll leave them as sample, but ideally I would save these as content movie archive, content movie single. You know what? We'll go ahead and do that. And we don't need CPT. We'll just do movie. And technically we don't even need content. I don't know why. My crazy naming stuff back when I first started this. And I've pretty much just stuck to whatever I did. Okay. So now we need to go back here and change these to movie single movie archive. Okay, so let's now movie single block. Movie single I guess we'll keep calling it thumb container. The post thumbnail large. Yeah, that's fine. And you can do, I think that's the post thumbnail. Yeah, array. Yeah. So this array, all it does is hold options for whatever else you want to add. So it could be classes, it could be I don't know, a title attribute, any other attributes, data stuff that you want to add to it. Movie single thumbnail. Whoop. Yeah, that'll work. And then for the content, and here's where it's going to get fun, because we're going to try to add those custom fields. And again, I didn't want this to be a video about doing custom fields and all that, which I am planning on adding, like really starting from scratch and thinking through how you want to add a custom post type and all the fields that go with it and stuff like that. We're just kind of doing this on the fly. Movie single content. So yeah, so this is all looking pretty much the same. Okay, this movie single block. Whoop. Okay, yeah. Movie single block. So maybe I want to add, no flex. We're not going to do display flex here, but maybe background color white. And we'll do 25 pixels of padding. Let's see how that looks. What does GeneratePress default to? 40? And I guess it would be nifty if we could build in, and I guess you could just use this the same classes if you wanted to inherit that padding from the customizer, but that's a different video. So yeah, we'll leave it like this. And now we could technically use some of the utility classes that I have in base CSS here that are from base CSS, which is an old kind of a pre-Tailwind. Yeah, give it a little extra margin there at the bottom. Okay, now let's try to add our movie trailer. So what I've done is I actually had to go get familiar again, because I use advanced custom fields a lot. So I found the pods documentation and just the straight up get post meta to output our custom fields, because in pods you can, well, even with advanced custom fields, you can use the native WordPress functions to grab your data. And also too, nifty thing about looking at pods, I discovered that GP, yeah, it's built in GeneratePress. How cool is that? And it's even got the premium add-on. That's really cool. So even the pods guys have know about GeneratePress and how cool it is. So this is a great resource, this docs.pods.io. It was a little tricky trying to find stuff that I wanted. Like I wanted just the functions for outputting images, but I think I'm going to use the native stuff, or not this. This guy's talking about something he built. Yeah. So let's. Okay, leave that, go back to pods admin. And I know you've really seen now kind of what generate do template part does, but I'm going the extra mile a little bit here. So movie release year, let's do that one first. So we're going to get post meta. And I'm going to, let's see. We'll do, oh, I need a title. H1, the title, and let's do, oh, H2, call it year released. And now we'll do, whoop, wrap it in a paragraph tag. How do we want to do this? Because I think we'll need to echo get post meta. Post ID. Can I just do get the ID? Maybe. And then I need the field name. What do I call it? Movie release year. Movie. Whoop. Release year. Close that off. And I think that's all I need. Well, yeah, no. So the last argument is true or false, and it defaults to false. And I think it's if you have multiple values, you just want it to return one, like if this were an array or something like that. Let's see what happens. Yay, we got the, oh, year released. Cool, and that's a little big, so let's just do this. Strong year released. Refresh. Groovy, that looks cool. Okay. And lastly, let's see if we can do the trailer. I'm not sure at all what. Let's see. Oh. Did that? Yeah, embed field. Okay. Yeah, so Pods also has this kind of cool tag templating where that you can do, but yeah, I'm not going to get into that. Okay, so you really just output the URL. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Let's do the same thing. Oh, I do have this embed container. So let's make a div. And now let's try that again. Echo. Get post meta. Whoop. And we're going to get, you know what? This kind of bugs me. So get the ID as a function, and it's working each time to go get the ID. Now I can leave it like this just for, we're just playing around here. But just as an optimization, you could get the post ID up here somewhere and pass it into this, so it's not going to grab it every single time. You know what? We'll cover that. Like I said, I'm trying not to get too bogged down. I'll cover that next time. Let's see, and I think this was called movie trailer. True. Whoop. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens. And there's our beautiful movie trailer. That's awesome. Okay, yeah, so that's it. So with a little code, And it's really not that bad. And you could do this for multiple post types. And what you could do, like if you had movie and actors, maybe, I think you could do something like, and then name all the custom post types: movie, actor, theater. I don't know. You know, if you had more. Anyway, just with 2. And then what you could do is have it check. Well, no, you wouldn't want to do that. I mean, if you were using the same layout for all of them, you could, but you probably have different layouts. So you probably want it to check, you know, just do a whole bunch of if-else. And you might be able to do a PHP switch. I don't know. I haven't tried that. Anyway, maybe we'll look at those things in the other video I'm trying to do. But anyway, yeah, so that's it. That's using pods. And you can do this with any custom post type, with any set of custom fields, you know, whatever you want. And I believe right now it only works in the code like we did. But I believe that it is coming to Elements. So I think Tom is working on it. This may be with Generate Blocks Pro. I'm not entirely sure. You're going to be able to do it visually, much like, and I think you'll be able to use the tags like you do here. You know, and you have custom field name, so you'll be able to do some cool stuff. I prefer the PHP way because I like to do, you know, you might need to get complicated with conditionals or checking for things, or you might have relationships or loops or things like that. But, you know, if this solves your problem, then there's no reason why you shouldn't use it. And while we're talking about it, you know, if you like pods, it does have this kind of templating that you can use in their own loop things, although I'm not sure how you would incorporate that with the generate do template part. Sorry. So anyway, we're using code. We've done it here. It's a great new addition, much better than using the content. Thank you, Tom. And I hope you guys find that it's not that difficult to try out. So use it for your custom post types. Use it if you're really wanting to customize your posts, just the blog posts in WordPress, and gosh, I guess even pages. But yeah, there you go. So thank you. Please subscribe. I'm trying to add these videos at least once a week. Feel free to comment, give me some ideas on things you'd like to see. To do with GeneratePress or maybe just WordPress, some problems perhaps you've run into, and I'll see what I can pull off. But thanks everyone, and see you next time.